Good morning, everyone. My name is Robert Ping. I'm going to do a couple little tests here. I'm looking up at the booth. Can online participants hear us okay? The booth can hear us okay? Great. Welcome to the inaugural OpenInfra Days North America. Can we get a little yes? So I want to give a shout out to our sponsors. We have a slide deck running that Vex hosts, and Rackspace Technologies are our platinum sponsors. Lightbits Labs, we're our gold sponsor. We have a very swanky reception that you're going to want to come to tonight, sponsored by the Pervasive Technology Institute and Jetstream 2, which are both housed at Indiana University. And we also have a coffee sponsor, RDO, and we have our diversity sponsor, which allowed some participants, especially students, but people who might not have been able to come otherwise, to attend, and that was by OpenInfra Foundation. So thank you to all of our sponsors. A couple of housekeeping things. If there are all gender restrooms in this building, they're only on this floor, and they're right behind the escalators. Otherwise, there are restrooms and things on every floor. To kind of lay out the day for you, we're starting here. We're going to have a few keynote and plenary presentations. Then we're all going to go upstairs, grab some coffee, and then disperse into the break rooms, which are all on the third floor. After that, we're going to have lunch back again on the fourth floor. So all of the eating, except for the swanky reception, all takes place on the fourth floor. And then we're going to, after lunch, we're going to go back to breakout sessions on the third floor. Again, give you more coffee to fuel you through for the end of the day. Come back down here to end the day, and then we'll all walk over together, or people can meet us at the State Museum, and I'll talk a little bit about that at the end of the day. So you're not going to want to miss that reception, I'm telling you. It's in a sky bridge overlooking the NCAA Hall of Fame, the IU Indianapolis campus, and some gorgeous fall colors. So I have the great pleasure of introducing our first keynote speaker today. She is the director of the Pervasive Technology Institute at Indiana University, and I'm going to let her read the rest of her titles because they are impressive if she wants to do so. She is a professor, was the first female tenured professor in the computer science department at Indiana University. She is phenomenal. She's also my boss. Please give it up for Beth Plale.
Thank you. All right, this is really quite a pleasure. I've got the opportunity to welcome you to Indianapolis, Indiana, and Indiana University. I point out that you are on the campus of Indiana University, Indianapolis, and that the campus sits alongside the spectacular White River. It's to the west of us. If you get an opportunity, especially in the morning, to go take a look at it, it's quite pretty. So yesterday was Indigenous Peoples Day. It was October 14th. So just in tribute to the Native American tribes that lived in this area that is Indianapolis, and there are several: the Miami, the Potawatomi, the Lenape, the Kickapoo, the Piankashaw, and the Way. They were in this area over different periods of time. They were here because of the White River. The White River was a major trade and communication route for the Native peoples in this area. So as you take your morning walk to the White River, I want you to envision villages that are made of round, dome-shaped dwellings that were called wickamies. That was our White River. So please do celebrate the moment. We also have, to the south of us, the Idle York Museum, which is a museum of American, Indian, and Western art. It was established in 1989 to acknowledge the rich Indigenous culture we had here. It showcases Indigenous cultures throughout the United States with a focus more on the showpieces on the West. So if you have an opportunity to visit the Idle York, please do that. You'll be at the Indiana State Museum tonight, so please take in some of the culture that we have around us. So as Robert mentioned, I'm a chaired professor. I'm in the Luddy School of Informatics, Computing, and Engineering at Indiana University, Bloomington. The Luddy School is on both the Bloomington campus and the Indianapolis campus, and it offers degrees, and those two campuses are 50 miles apart. and it offers degrees in engineering, computer science, informatics, and library science. So I'm from the Bloomington campus. The Bloomington campus is the flagship campus of Indiana University. And I chair a Department of Intelligent Systems Engineering. So if you happen to have a high schooler who's looking for an intelligent systems engineering degree, which we think is a really nice and reinterpreted engineering degree, ABET accredited, please reach out to me. I also hold the Michael A. and Lori Burns McRobbie Chair in Computer Engineering. And it's a title that I'm extremely proud of, and I'd like to tell you why. So Michael McRobbie was the 18th president of Indiana University. He served from 2007 to 2021. Among the many things he did for the university and for the country and for the world, he established the Asian Pacific Advanced Network, APAN. How many people know APAN? I know at least one person in the room who knows APAN. Excellent. Okay. APAN is a consortium of researchers and technologists that get together to talk about international networking. This was in 1996, almost 30 years ago. That is a very active community today. He also led the TransPac and TransPac 2 projects, which established networking between the United States and Asia. Those networks are still strong today. In 2006, under his leadership, IU got its first supercomputer, Big Red. It's called Big Red because our colors are cream and crimson, and red's close enough. This was followed by Big Red 2, and then most recently by Big Red 200. And Big Red 200 is a little more GPU oriented, so kind of our foray into AI. So through Michael McRobbie's vision, he made IU a university that is outstanding nationally and globally in networking, computer networking, in supercomputing, and in cybersecurity. So my research is in high performance computing and data engineering. And I came to IU because of what Dr. McRobbie built. And therefore I'm deeply, deeply honored to hold that chair, deeply honored. And I also want to point out what ties it specifically to this meeting is his vision that built infrastructure strength in computing and networking at IU also brought very, very talented people to IU that are now doing wonderful things, including the Jetstream 2 project. Is Dave Hancock here? He should be here. He is, okay. Yeah, he's right in the back there. Okay, all right. So Jetstream 2 is a community cloud that is running OpenStack, hence the connection to this meeting. It is funded by the National Science Foundation and serves research and educational needs across the nation. So how we accomplish large-scale computing in the United States is through our federal agencies that fund major infrastructure that's housed at very capable universities and run out of very capable universities, but then serve the national stage, serve, again, research and education that goes on throughout universities in the United States and internationally if one has a connection to the United States. So again, the Jetstream 2 is led by Dave Hancock, and it represents nearly a $30 million investment in national infrastructure for research. I've used Jetstream 2 myself in my classes. So it was recently, Jetstream 2 was recently expanded to have a stronger AI focus through an investment that brought in 360 NVIDIA A100 GPUs, and these are AMD Milan cores. And this was in response to the nation recognizing that academic research in AI could not be competitive if there wasn't sufficient infrastructure in place for doing that research, particularly with foundational models, which are so computationally intense, particularly with respect to their consumption of GPU cores. So There was a study done that resulted, you might have heard of NARE, it's the National AI Research Resource. There was a study done. It's sitting in front of Congress now for budgeting the phase 2, but the phase 1 of that, called the NARE pilot, has been stood up over the last 9 months. And part of what the National Science Foundation, possibly other federal agencies, but certainly driven by the National Science Foundation, has given pilot funding to infrastructure providers, of which Jetstream 2 is one of those providers, to build out the AI portion of their infrastructure in support of AI research across the country. So, and one other point with respect to AI and serving the needs like Jetstream does, is when these agencies fund research in AI, they're not just funding the next large language model that sucks in all the world's data and does something with it, lets you converse with it. It is funding AI in support of astronomy, health, medicine, digital twins, ecology, foundational models, computer network, just a whole range of things that move our economy and our society forward. So, as Robert said, welcome. The very first OpenInfra Days North America. I guess there's solid regions in Asia and Europe, and maybe North America will become one too. OpenInfra is hosted in part by Indiana University. Indiana University is an associate member of OpenInfra, so we're absolutely delighted to host you here. And what I liked about what the next couple of days are is they're focused on, and which you'll hear in your next talk, is there's a goal of networking, community building within North America. I happen to be quite keen on the power of communities to come together to accomplish things. And what I liked about when I was perusing the OpenInfra Foundation are these guiding principles. I expect you're familiar with them, the 4 opens. So open source, and open source that is not feature limited or performance limited, so it's not crippled in some way. Open design, open development, all patches welcome for consideration, and then also open community. So an open community recognizing that the community needs to be cohesive, it needs to be inclusive, and it needs to be a level playing ground where voices can be heard and can emerge from all different stakeholders and not just dominated by the few. So I think I'll be here the next couple of days. I look forward to what a first meeting can accomplish. And I hope you all have that spirit, not only of listening to important talks, but taking advantage of the building that could go on, that could be lasting in terms of the value for you. So in conclusion, welcome to Indiana, welcome to Indiana University. We actually have a football team that's doing decently well this year, so we're happy. Though I do have to say, Oregon beat Ohio State, which was really quite a foray of Oregon into the Big Ten, yes, which is now the Big 50 or something. So I hope the next couple of days for you are fruitful. I hope you enjoy your time here. I hope you get out and see some of the city. And let me just conclude by saying, if you have a high schooler who might be interested in an AI first engineering degree, ABET accredited, please reach out to me. I'm at Plale, my last name Plale at indiana.edu, and I'll be here through tomorrow. So thank you all and welcome. Okay.